Can't sit on my house. I got that check into golf. A lot of these look lost. They broke. They think it's my fault. No court. I want that court. I'm dripping. I'm stuck with the sauce. But she love you. Don't cut your. Reynolds Da Vinci is white. Limited Louis that's light. Rape in the city that's light. LED look at the lights. We the ones don't like. But you look too light. Why even play with your life?
Matching hundreds. Hey everybody, it's the coach. You're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see teams with a couple of running backs who each went over 100 yards a weekend ago. Coming up, we'll see the visiting Philadelphia Eagles taking on the Dallas Cowboys. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
All right, much appreciated, Coach, as we welcome all of you to our exclusive coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Obviously, they do everything big here in Dallas, and the introduction to the Cowboys, no exception. They're set for football in Big D, as their guys will do battle with Carson Wentz and the Philadelphia Eagles. Hello again, everyone. I'm Brandon Gaudin, joined as always by Charles Davis. And Charles, you take a look at this Cowboy team entering play. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Eagles, they're hitting their stride of late. Winners of 3 of their last 4. 2 teams trying to stake their claim to postseason football. Week 14 of the NFL is underway. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Cowboys now ready to go on offense for the first time. They'll be led out by Dak Prescott, the 135th pick of the draft back in 2016 from Mississippi State.
And he ought to have a lot of pep in his step after last week's performance because he did exactly as you want him to play if you're a coach. 3 touchdown passes, 0 interceptions, which usually means you're making a lot of right decisions out there.
And got him the win. They go play action here on first down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. And the offensive starters for Dallas.
This offense begins and ends with Ezekiel Elliott. He played in only 10 games last year after leading the league in rushing as a rookie, but still led the league in rushing yards per game for the 2nd year in a row. When he gets his hands on the football, everyone comes to the edge of their seat.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Everybody take
Prescott from the gun. And this one hauled in by Will Tye. Part of the reason they're here, no doubt, is his big performance in the NFC title game, and that's his first catch of the Super Bowl. The numbers for him from a week ago, 7 catches, 71 yards.
And he's able to pull that last pass in, but this is usually a pretty tough unit to try and maneuver against. They're in the top 10 in the league against the pass, and you and I both know there's not much difference between 1 and 10.
Looking to throw, Prescott. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down. A look now at the defensive starters for Philadelphia. They played really well in the win last week over the Redskins.
Have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw. They ended up getting 4 sacks in the game, stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire time, made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield.
And that's what they told us this week, that pressure on the QB is key. An incomplete pass on first down, that leads to a 2nd and 10. Now the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. Fights him off. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks. A tough run by Ezekiel Elliott, the 4th overall pick in the 2016 draft.
If you watch tape of him in college, you saw plenty of those runs because I know the highlights showed him in the open field breaking away from people, but that's how he wore down defenses, those exact type of runs.
So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. To throw is Prescott. Being chased out left. And he will not throw it away. He goes out of bounds, well shy of the line of scrimmage, so that's a sack. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up 2nd. So a look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. And they tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stocked your team just the way you're supposed to.
They get 8 yards back there. They could use another one of those now on 3rd and 7.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
Now Prescott drops it underneath to Elliott, and he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. They'll give him a yard on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area that they want him involved. Just as you said, they want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
So now here comes the Eagles offense as they get ready to take over. Leading the charge under center will be their 6'5" quarterback, Carson Wentz.
And his stat line last week, that's not going to get him to the Pro Bowl. All right, no touchdowns, no interceptions, but they won. And so the bottom line for him is team won, managed the game effectively, led them to victory. He's doing all the right things.
Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line. Wentz now to throw. And he will find his man on the outside. And he'll get it up here this time to the 21. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. And the tight end, Zach Ertz, is key in this offense as we get a look at the starters.
Comes out of the factory known as Stanford, which keeps putting out tight ends. Zach Ertz, one of the better ones we've seen in recent years.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. On play action, Wentz. And he's got the veteran here. It's Mike Wallace. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. A 1st down for the Eagles. Wentz fighting the former Raven Wallace.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Able to shake free for about 7 up to the 35. There are the numbers last week for Jay Ajayi. He was, without a doubt, one of the catalysts in that victory.
And he can really be the glue that makes this offense go, because when defenders have to commit to stopping him, that just opens up more opportunities in the passing game.
They'll run with a former Badger. It's Corey Clement, and he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
They were not fooling around at all, were they? 2nd and short, and they brought out the heavy package. Almost felt like the super heavy package against that defense, didn't it?
Yeah, I don't think they expected that much beef up front, and it turned into an easy 1st down conversion. On 1st down, Wentz. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. And a look at the defense for the Cowboys.
The anchor of this Cowboys defense is linebacker Sean Lee. Finished with 118 tackles despite missing 4 full games and the majority of another one in 2017. And you can absolutely see it's a different defense when he's on the field as opposed to when he's off of it. Agile, diagnoses plays well, and a fierce, fierce tackler.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Now Wentz. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Now Wentz on third down. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 46. And they get the football. They'll set up shop at their own 49-yard line.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
They'll start the drive with Elliott. And across the midfield stripe into Eagle territory. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. This running game's so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week, and right now we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
When the offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
Now Elliott, and he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Nigel Bradham brings him down.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
He'll get 2 on the keeper, but it becomes now a 3rd down.
Anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, most of the time when you design a play, you're expected to break a little bit bigger than this one because when you run him on short gains, your risk-reward and him taking hits, I'm not sure that's the payoff they were looking for.
They'll set up the screen to Elliott, and he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4th. Well, you can see what they wanted to do. They wanted to set up the screen there, but it got blown up.
It's hard to run that play if you're not getting a lot of pressure at the quarterback because the space doesn't open up. They were able to read that one and slow it down and stop it before they could get a first down. Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
The Eagles offense now, they head back on the field. That opening drive ended with the INT. It didn't lead to points, but still not the way they were hoping to begin the game.
But how about going and telling your defense, thank you, a huge thank you. You said it didn't lead to points, stalled off that drive. Now they've got a chance to redeem themselves and maybe reward their defense a little bit by putting some points on the board on this one. It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
Tyrone Crawford in on the tackle.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in the expected passing situation.
From the gun on third down, Wentz. And that is incomplete. Jeff Heath, the strong safety, able to get in there on the coverage.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And now Dallas gets set to take the field. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, well, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
A first down carry by Elliott. And not much. Maybe a yard up to the 29.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
On second down, Elliott. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2, now third down.
I'm getting the sense that Fletcher Cox is making offensive linemen want to take the week off when they have to play against him.
It's a regular routine for him, isn't it?
It really is. That play there, that's him all day long. Good luck trying to block him and keep him from disrupting your offense.
Now Prescott. Flushed out right. And he had a nifty little deke juke move, but he stopped shortly thereafter. He'll wind up getting 4 yards there on his own, but it also brings up fourth down.
And, partner, I would guess that in his headset he was hearing from his coach, it's third down, don't take a sack. And in this case, he's able to avoid the pressure and get out of there. He doesn't get the first down, but he does turn a possible loss into positive yardage.
12 yards on the return that time. And the Eagles will have it, taking over first and 10. Wentz and the Eagles now with a first and 10 at their own 26. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. DeMarcus Lawrence in on the tackle.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
On second down, here's Wentz. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. Mike Wallace, the intended receiver, and it's third down.
What I loved about meeting with these coaches before the game is we didn't even have to ask any questions. They told us that they were going to be aggressive and push the ball downfield. They weren't successful on that play, but look for them to try it again later.
Wentz going to throw. And this is going to be incomplete. Sean Lee, the linebacker, able to get a hand in coverage.
And what did we talk with them about prior to the game? Their ability to move the chains, pick up first downs. So far, 0 for 3 on third down. If that continues, they have little chance of winning this one.
Oh, and what a play on special teams here. This is going to be down inside the 5, all the way down at the 2-yard line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's second and 4. Prescott now. And he's going to go down right near the goal line. The officials look at each other. They're going to mark him at the 1-yard line. Brandon Graham, he's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
And indeed, that's what they'll do as they run it here. Oh, and he's not going to make it out of the end zone. The push too strong, and that'll be a safety. Well, we thought these two defenses, they might come to play play. One has already come to play here, a safety for the opening points of the game.
Brandon, let's file this play away because if it turns out to be a tight game, who knows? This could wind up being the difference.
Now the free kick comes after the safety from the 20 as they bring the punter on to try and get some hang time here. Taking it about the 16. Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 26. Here's a handoff to Ajayi to begin the drive. And he's going to get about 7 yards on that one, up to around the 33.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Only one score in the first quarter, and it came from the defense. 2-0 is our score. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade.
Back live with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's the Eagles with the ball here to begin quarter number 2. They're looking at a 2nd and short yardage to start things out. Play action. Now Wentz. And a reception made by Alshon Jeffrey. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. The first catch for Jeffrey. Good enough for a first down. Alshon Jeffrey so dangerous even when a defender's near him.
He's got such a big body. Ability to run. Positions himself well. Excellent control. And you're exactly right. Even if people are draped on him, he often comes up with the catch. He really symbolizes what people are looking for in receivers in today's NFL.
Wentz to throw on 2nd down. Escaping the pressure right. Wentz can pull it down when he needs to, and the 6'5" quarterback picks up the first down.
Well, he did a nice job keeping his eyes downfield, waiting for someone to get open. But once the pressure forced his eyes down to see the rush, it was time to make a break for it.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down just outside of the 30. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
Incomplete. Sean Lee, the linebacker, able to get a hand in coverage.
I would say it would probably be a good idea for him to reintroduce himself to his receivers at the half because they're definitely on different wavelengths. But I also don't advocate waiting that long. Next series before you get out there. Hey, let's get together, guys. Let's get this thing moving.
To throw, it's Wentz. And he's able to pick up the first before he's taken down at the 27. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And he'll be dropped at the 23 after a pickup of about 4. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on 2nd down.
Now Wentz throwing on 2nd down. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Jordan Lewis. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively, not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
So 5 yards there as one of the big guys up front moved.
And in a 4-3 front, you've got the 2 defensive tackles right near the football. I know there's a lot of movement around there, but they're always taught to have one eye on the football. Apparently, that didn't happen.
After the penalty, it's Elliott. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
A give to Elliott. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
10th carry now for Elliott. He'll take this up just shy of the 40. Excellent display of footwork on that run. Tackle made there by Jordan Hicks.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
They'll try to throw now. Prescott. And he finds Beasley complete. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
His first catch of the game, good for 11 and a 1st down.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the 1st down. And that's what he just did.
And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. On 1st and 10, Prescott. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the 1st down completion.
Seeing that play and understand just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice game right there on 1st down for them. Brings up a nice 2nd down for them.
It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another 1st down with that run.
From the red zone now, Prescott. And incomplete, a drop there in the middle 3rd of the field. That'll bring up 2nd down. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better, got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They got to find a way to bring those 2 elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
Now flags fly in, and one of the Cowboys looked like he got going a little early.
False start, offense.
That's on the Pro Bowl guard from Notre Dame, Zach Martin. So after the penalty, heading in the wrong direction, 2nd and 15. The give is to Elliott. And he'll get this down only to the 18. Tackled that time by Sidney Jones.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
Third and long for Prescott. Hits his target, the tight end, Will Tye. And he is out of bounds, looks like right at the 15. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and of course, foot dragging.
A little tapestry, if you will.
Ooh, I like it.
And Santos able to put this one up and through. It's good. And they will jump out in front here with a very unusual scoreline of 3-2. A dozen plays on that drive that ends with the field goal.
Let's go ahead and break out some of the old chestnuts here, right, partner? Keep the ball in front, rally to it, and make the tackle, right? No big plays given up, no balls over your head. Bend, don't break.
Hold on. Chestnuts?
You like
Come
that
on.
one?
What does that mean, break out that just because you break chestnuts?
I'm not sure about that, but I'm just going with why they said that. I have no idea.
A handoff to start the drive to Sims. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
He's got it complete to Perkins. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Shotgun now for Wentz. And that is incomplete. Sean Lee, the linebacker, able to get a hand in coverage. Well, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively, and then just continued there with that incompletion.
Yeah, definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now because they made it very difficult for them throughout the half.
A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line. They start on the ground with Elliott. Big hold of the 30. He's at the 50. And down right around the 37. A big run that time by Elliott. 44 yards. Yardage-wise, he's in the top handful of backs in the league so far this season. A great run there.
He's going to love that standing when it comes to contract time. But even more so, his team loves it because he gives them an identity and sets a tone.
Now a play fake here on first down. And his throw is going to be incomplete.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. This is Elliott. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
Well, with the kind of half he's had, I think we can forgive him that run, right? Not every run's going to be a big play, is it?
No, and also the blocking just wasn't there. No room to run.
Yeah, defensively, they got to find a way to build on that because he's eating them alive in the first half.
He's got Thompson here, complete. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line. The 21 yards there as they convert on 3rd. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 1:57 to go in this first half. We're back to Arlington right after this timeout. All right, coming up at intermission. Charles, you want a way to enhance your Saturday?
I certainly do.
I've got just a thing for you. It's the coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll be alongside and have to take us through the weekend in the NFL. A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. And that one goes incomplete. He's maybe lucky it wasn't a fumble as he got hit as he threw it.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Ronald Darby. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Well, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it. And the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
Carson Wentz, along with his offense, heading back out there for their next possession. He and his team, they have had a rough go of it here in this first half. Maybe time for him to put his foot down here in the second quarter.
Put his foot down and become a little more accurate throwing the football. He's already thrown 2 interceptions. He's trying to find a way to equal things out. And instead of it going to the opponents, get it to his own receivers and find the end zone.
Yeah, you mentioned those 2 picks. No touchdown passes yet either.
Holding offense.
The decision is to decline it and not give him the down bat.
They might as well have sent a skywriter above the stadium saying, we don't think you can get the first down against our defense by that decision.
This is Clement. And they'll get him down up past the 15. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
Partner, if you want more carries, I think we saw how you get him. Showed that he's got the fresh legs, and he picked up the first down on that run. Don't just ask for him. Show him that you're supposed to get the football.
On 1st and 10, here's Wentz. Eluding the pressure right. And he just gets rid of it. Throws it away. The wise move there. Looked like nobody open. Now 2nd down.
It's been my observation. There's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Working from the gun, Wentz. And an alley to run. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble. So the youngster able to use the legs to pick up the first.
And one of my pet peeves when they see this guy play, when Carson Wentz takes off running the football, I always hear people go, oh, he's sneaky athletic. No, he's athletic. Watch him do it. He's an integral part of the quarterback run game, and he gets it done very, very well.
You don't like sneaky athletic, do you? That's just kind of a jab in the back.
Yeah, not when it doesn't apply. I think that's a stereotype that needs to be broken down for him.
He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. From the gun, it's Wentz. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Jordan Lewis. And he's able to take this one back to the 36-yard line. That late in the clock, second quarter, why not just run it a time or 2 and get it into the locker room?
What you're saying makes absolutely perfect sense. Run it and get out of there. But I'm just wondering if the pressure of today's NFL and the high-powered offenses that you're facing may force them into saying, let's try and get some more points.
And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. Now before this 2nd down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on 1st down.
Hey, here we go.
From the shotgun, it's Prescott. He's airing it up, and he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Terrence Williams, as the first half is winding down, and the Cowboys will add on to their lead.
And that lead is is now 7 with a chance to go to 8 or more if they want to get crazy here, which we don't expect. But I just know the way the game's being played with the analytics, there's going to be a lot more of going for 2 in a lot of situations, isn't there?
Yeah, there's going to be. And I think their focus here, they don't want to give up anything going into the lockers on the other, and just a little bit of time left on the clock.
Yeah, they don't want to do anything to erase the good feeling they have right now by getting this late score in the half.
Cairo Santos on to try the extra point. Santos with the extra point, and the lead is up to 8. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. It's Marcus Wheaton now to return it. And a pretty slick return there as he's up just shy of the 45-yard line. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Steps away to his left. Now he'll let it go on the run. And the defense loses him. It's complete. And finally he is out of bounds, but not before taking it down near the 15. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. A 33-yarder from the left hash. And the kick by Elliott is good. So we have come to halftime here in Dallas with the Cowboys out in front. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you and Charles in a bit. But first, let's get to some of these scores around the NFL here in a busy Week 14. We'll get started up at FedEx Field in our nation's capital, where it was the Giants who were able to come away with the road victory. Odell Beckham up close to 100-yard receiving there. From there, we head over to the West Coast. Check out the Niners at home at Levi Stadium. And they've got the lead over the visiting Denver Broncos. Pierre Garçon, a touchdown reception. Finally, let's get over to Carson. See what's happening with the Chargers at home at the StubHub Center. And they've got the lead in their ball game over the visiting Cincinnati Bengals. Tyrell Williams, a touchdown reception. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Wheaton will return it. Here's Carson Wentz now with the rest of his offensive unit heading onto the field. And he's looking to take much better care of the football here in half 2 after 3 first-half interceptions.
We don't have to just look strictly at the numbers here. You know what else happens to a team when you turn it over 3 times like that? It erodes confidence in you. And it erodes confidence in the offense. And now you have the defensive guys looking over and saying, what is going on here? And instead of playing for the team, they're playing angry and mad at their teammates.
They'll start out on the ground with a jive. And he'll push his way forward to about the 32. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
They fake the give. Now Wentz. Caught right side. It's Jeffrey. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. An Eagle first down. Wentz hooking up with Jeffrey. And there they went crossing route against the zone defense. What do you think of that?
takes real coordination between the passer and the receiver because you've got to read those zones and where the open spots are and be on the same page with the guy throwing the football. Because sometimes you're throwing it in front of the zone. Sometimes you're throwing it between the zones. Sometimes the receiver's going to just kind of find a spot and what we call sit down and present himself to the quarterback and throw it there. It's a tough read, but when they're in sync, it's really effective.
This is Ajayi. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
Hadn't had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Ajayi. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
I think it's pretty evident we can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. An Eagle first down there, Wentz to Ertz, and the names that end in TZ.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up a 2nd and just about a few inches here.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the 1st down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the 1st down. That's exactly what they did.
Wentz now to throw. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Oh, that's got to frustrate him a little bit because they nearly got to him there, and it would have been the first sack of the game. Instead, they're able to influence the release, and they did force the incomplete pass.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now Wentz. Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. Tyrone Crawford in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year.
We are seeing 2 really confident defenses imposing their will on these offenses in this game.
Yeah, absolutely, going toe for toe. Just curious if one of these offenses can wake up a little bit.
Is there any way they can find something that can pop, something big to knock them back on their heels?
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football. Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
The penalty helps a bit, but still 8 yards to go on 3rd down for this offense. Now Wentz. Fighting to stay upright. Oh, he sheds himself free. The escapability in evidence there is that one good for 15 and a 1st.
After the sack, you could understand him maybe being a little bit nervous back there, a little skittish, but he looked awfully decisive when he took off and ran.
Very decisive and picked up that 1st down in the process. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be stopped after a gain of only a couple down to the 15-yard line.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
Again, they run with Sims. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 6 yards on the pickup, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
On 3rd down, that's Sims, and he picks up the first as he's able to take it down to the 7-yard line. They only got 2, but that was enough as they'll convert to make it 1st and goal.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe you change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stick.
And this is caught. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Mike Wallace, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Eagles are able to cash it in for 6. Well, that's about as quick of a passing touchdown as you'll ever see right there.
Everyone has a section in their playbook called the quick game. That was a super quick game. Out of the hands of the thrower, bam, right to the receiver, successfully for a touchdown.
How in-depth is that quick game part of the playbook?
It's pretty in-depth because people want the ball out of the hands of the quarterback into the playmaker's hands downfield as fast as possible. There are a lot of plays, a lot of options involved with that.
Doug Peterson says, let's go for 2 here. Wentz. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. And in the 3rd quarter here, they were trying to push that to a 3-point game, but instead it'll stay at 1.
And I'm a big proponent of not chasing points or going for 2 too early. But in this case, I understand why. You know, if you kick an extra point, you're just up 2, right? So a field goal still puts the other team ahead. So you go for 2 here and protect the field goal lead. They didn't get it done, though.
The Cowboys offense now, they head out for their first possession of the 2nd half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. They'll run again now with Darkwa. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Only a yard on the pickup there, so it leaves them needing a conversion here on 3rd and a tough 9.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Looking to throw. Prescott. And he's got it to Hearns. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs. On the run, Darkwa. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Brandon, we're into the 2nd half, and this offense has not scored a lot of points, and that was another example of why. I think it's time to open things up and start really trying to move the ball.
They'll run with Darkwa. And an alley to run. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. And a nice carry there of 15 yards.
That's how you get right up off of the mat, because on the last play, they stoned him in the backfield and dropped him for a loss. But he's the type of guy that scared me a little bit because he's not daunted. Just got right back up, showed some confidence, and picked up a 1st down with his very next run.
Prescott to throw it. He's going to go deep for Beasley. Oh, that was dangerous. Threw it into coverage, almost picked. But instead, they'll keep it on 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he's got some space here. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
Hey, when you get good yardage like that on first down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
Down right around the 25. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a third down.
Oftentimes we praise an offense for their variety of being able to hit people with the run and the pass. But in this game, how about what we're seeing from the safeties? They are all over the field. Doesn't matter if they threw it or if they're trying to run it.
I don't think we've ever awarded an MVU, most valuable unit, but you're right. It might go to them in this game.
I like that. MVU. Well done.
Now the throw on third down, knocked away and incomplete. Fourth down now looming after Philly's defense stands tall in coverage.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on third down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a fourth down decision.
And Santos able to put this one up and through. It's good. And they will grab the lead here by 2, 13-11. They don't get a touchdown here on the opening drive of the third quarter, but I think maybe you still say mission accomplished as they come away with the lead.
No, absolutely. You keep the pressure on, right? You go downfield, get some points up on the board, and hope that you've motivated your defense to take the field and hold that lead.
It's time for our player spotlight right now as we get a look at Carson Wentz. So with the 3 interceptions, how does he erase those from his mind and just focus on this drive?
I think he may need some help from the coaching staff. Maybe the offensive coordinator says, okay, let's do a few of the shorter throws, quick rhythm throws where the ball's out of his hand quickly into a receiver before the defense can react. Maybe not take so many shots downfield just in case. Get your confidence back up, and then later on, you expand the targets again.
The KISS method. Keep it simple, stupid. Right?
I love it. I love it.
And that's going to be too high, out of bounds and incomplete. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. But not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete.
A run, it's Clement. He lost 4 there, and it's third down.
Brandon, one thing about blitzes, they really confuse offensive linemen at times, and what you have to do is lock in on the guy right in front of you. If you don't, you saw the end result. Defensive tackle ended up making the play.
On third and long, it's Wentz. And he will go down. A Cowboys sack. David Irving in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me, just long enough for me to get there. That's exactly what happened on that play.
Very good return that time. 18 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Dak and the Cowboy offense heading back onto the field. How do you think he personally is evaluating his game so far? He was pretty good in the first half, been good so far here in the third quarter. He's got to like it, right?
Not looking for the dramatics here. Not trying to set the world on fire in terms of stats. It's almost like you're driving. Hands at 10 and 2, alert for anything out there, watching for trouble on the road, and making sure you get the team home.
The bus driver. See if he can drive the bus here again on this drive. They'll run it now out of the gun. And a good pickup there. He gets about 6 up to midfield.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Prescott now from the 50. And this is going to be incomplete.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this third down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
Now Philadelphia ready to get going on offense again. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting. Not much happening there on first down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
Wentz to throw on second down. And he is going to be taken down. And that should be the final play of this third quarter. It's been a good one so far. Just a 2-point game here as we get set for quarter number 4. Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long. So Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack. Play action. Now Wentz. And Jeffrey's got it. And all the way down to the 36-yard line. Wentz finding his favorite receiver, Jeffrey, on a big one. 43 yards. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well.
As long as you go through your proper reads and progressions, the drag route can be one of those old reliable plays because usually it's good for a good chunk of yardage, as we just saw there.
And those guys like it, right? They can get the ball with a full head of steam.
Especially against man coverage. Because man coverage, they're typically running away from someone and not worried about traffic coming out on the other end.
And this is caught at the 8. And he doesn't quite make it. They do stop him, but he gets it all the way down to the 1.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Now Wentz again. Oh, it's incomplete. That would have been big in the end zone if he could have held on. Instead, it's second down. Down this close to the goal line, first down. Surprised that wasn't a run?
I am, and you know I'm old school. I want to run the ball on first down in this situation because second down, that gives me an option of running play out.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Jeff Heath. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Charles, when plays like that work, it's a thing to behold, but sometimes we see why they're very deep in the playbook.
And how many times have we been at practice and heard all the other guys chirping about, you know, I used to play quarterback in high school. I can do this.
And can you believe it? It's a second safety in this ball game. And you know, the man who sat in my chair the last few years, he has a theory. These plays, these safeties, they're so rare. Maybe they should be worth more than 2, maybe 4 points.
I think he's got a great point. I really do, Brandon. But I would go ahead and up it to 6. I'm a former defender. Oh. To me, that's like scoring a touchdown.
Easy now. I'll go 4. I don't know about 6.
Come on. Come up to 6.
That's a lot of points. The Eagles offense back out onto the field. And the interception thrown in the red zone last time. We'll see if they can rebound.
I just have to think the last thing he said as they went back out there was, don't do that again. What do you think?
What do you think?
Yeah, I think that. I think that not only did he say that, but he also told them, let's put it in the end zone that it's supposed to be in, all right? The end zone we're trying to score. I know we're being a little bit facetious here, but the bottom line is take care of the football, and everything else should flow from there.
Quick lesson, never ask the play-by-play guy a question.
Hey, you're my partner. I know you're right there with me.
And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. An Eagle first down, Wentz to Ertz.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and put the down marker back to 1.
Sims. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
And that run was what a lot of people call an explosive run. Gave them good yardage, solid yardage. They feel good about the whole thing, and they did it behind a 2 tight end set. It's always interesting to watch what offenses want to do with the 2 tight ends. Sometimes they line them up together for a power set. Sometimes they put one on each side of the line of scrimmage to balance things out. No matter what, though, when you see 2 tight ends on the field, your first thought is to think run. In this case, the offense was able to run successfully.
On the carry, here's Clement. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
It's really come into vogue to talk about the different gaps that the defense tries to attack in an offensive line. And most of the time we're talking about blitzes. How many times have you heard double A-gap blitz? But where is the A-gap? It's the space between the center and the guards, either side. So when you're having a double A-gap blitz, that's 2 guys coming through that gap. In this situation, though, that A-gap wasn't open for the defense to exploit. The offensive line took care of it, protected it, and moved the defensive guys out of the way to allow for that nice run.
Throwing is Wentz. And an alley to run. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks. We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10. They run with Ajayi. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
Here's Ajayi. And he's able to pick up the first before he's brought down inside the 5 at the 4. Give him a gain of 4, able to convert, and that sets up 1st and goal now. A field goal could get him the lead, but it might not be enough here as they come up on 1st and goal. To throw is Wentz. This is taken in by Jeffrey. He's got it. Touchdown, Eagles. Alshon Jeffrey, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Eagles have moved out in front. On those slants, everything happens so quickly. What makes it work?
The timing between the passer and the receiver. In this case, a slant route ordinarily is probably about 3 steps before you go on the slant. In this amount of time, I think it was a 2-step deal. Boom, put his foot in the ground and got inside for the pass.
Got inside for the pass, got inside for the catch and the score. Elliott now to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And out now come the Cowboys. And the last time they had the football, they surrendered 2 points on the safety. They don't want to do that one again.
No, not at all. It's almost like a bases clearing double, isn't it? Give up a couple of runs.
Sure.
just messes things up for you offensively. But now they've got to go ahead, take it, set it aside, and move forward.
Give him 2 yards on that play, and it'll bring up a 2nd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
In most pass defenses, the guy playing safety has the ability to roam free and try and go to the football. But when you're in man, you've got to cover just like a guy playing out on the corner. Lock up on the receiver and go to the football. That's exactly what he did, batting that one away.
Now Prescott. Over the middle, the connection to Hearns. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A very solid gain of 27. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It's way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
Now Prescott, and a hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Able to get away, but in the end, the pressure too great, and he goes down. Mike Bennett in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year. And they weren't in zone coverage, they were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at the 20. And the drive begins here with Sims. He'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back at New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. Just a couple on the ground there, and that's going to bring up 3rd and about 6.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Now Wentz on 3rd down. And the Cowboys pressure gets there this time for the sack. David Irving. He's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Well, that's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Dak Prescott on the offense heading back onto the field. So, Charles, there are the numbers. What's happened here? Defensive adjustments that's caused him to sort of fall off a bit?
I think so. That has to happen. You've got to make some changes because in the first half, they were pretty effective. But the second part is sometimes when you're doing really well, you get off your game a little bit. You get off the gas a little. You're like, okay, we've got this thing. And that's not necessarily the case. Maybe right now, someone just needs to tell a joke in the huddle, loosen things up, and get their big guy going again.
First down, Prescott. And that is incomplete.
He's 2nd in the NFL in interceptions, and you understand why. He plays a game of great intelligence, understands positioning, and has a great ability to break on the football when it's in the air.
So fun to watch his closing speed, and another example of it on that play. Throwing again, Prescott on 2nd and 10. Hits his target, the tight end, Will Tye. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
On 3rd down, it's Prescott. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Chris Long in there to sack him, and that is 10 for him now on the year. and 7, and they've got to go for it here on 4th down. Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And they've got a 4th down now in a game that, to be honest, has been pretty much everything we could have asked for. He'll look to throw. That's to his running back, complete. But they're going to wrap him up as he'll go down well short of a first. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and that will force a turnover on downs. Well, you feel the excitement build on those 4th down plays. Defense has to stay out there, but for the offense, when that thing doesn't work out, such disappointment.
It can absolutely be a deflator, but how about the defensive guys? If they stop you on 4th down, they are absolutely elevated going to their bench.
They're elevated now. Big stop on 4th down. They run again with a Ajayi. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. And now the Cowboys are going to call another timeout. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. Now it's Ajayi. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. The Cowboys signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play.
Come on now, let's go. Hey, other side, solid. Kill.
They'll run with Clement. And he's going to be met at about the 43. Sean Lee, the Pro Bowler, there for the tackle. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
I guess the simple question, why not just take a knee there?
I don't understand either why you would take any sort of a chance. We've seen it happen in the game of football. Doesn't matter whether you've watched high school, college, or the NFL. Some people get a little greedy, try to get that extra running play in, and it can backfire on them. How about the fellas with the stars on the side of their helmets rising up on defense? We always hear about the Cowboys' rushing offense. Their rush defense is pretty good as well, I think, because they're so cohesive. Defensive line, linebackers really work well together.
And this is good. It was running out of gas there at the end, but he winds up getting just enough on it. And that will push the lead up to double digits now at 10. So barring something extraordinary here in the closing stages, that field goal should just about put this one on ice.
Yeah, we've got to find 2 scores. So, we're not going to exactly move it over there yet. It can be done, but, boy, it's going to be a little bit of a stretch for them, isn't it?
Yeah, they would have to move incredibly quick and have some luck, too. Here's Prescott. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And incomplete. An excellent play downfield. Should have been picked off, really. But 2nd down instead.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man on man. And you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
Here we go.
One last shot now for Prescott. And this will be incomplete. 1 second left to go. He was looking to get it to Allen Hurns that time. And now it's 3rd down.
Got to be wary of throwing an interception here because the defense knows they're going to get tested deep. That's why they're going to put a couple of extra guys back there to try and prevent that.
Yeah, late in the 4th quarter here, trying to preserve the lead. Prescott now. Throw right side, complete to Williams. Well, Charles, it's great to win at home in the NFL. When you win on the road, it's a little extra special, isn't it?
It is because, let's face it, in most cases, you're not expected to go on the road and win in the National Football League. It just doesn't usually compute. So to get out there, get that done, and then head back to your city with one in the victory column, oh, that's a fantastic feeling.
So for the Eagles, it's a 10th win on the year as they move to 10-3. And they'll have another road date next week with the Los Angeles Rams. Meanwhile, for the Cowboys, you wonder what this will do to their playoff prospects as they fall to 8-5. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to Indianapolis to take on the Colts. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis.